Welcome back to another video. Today I am doing some more unboxings. This is the first time you've probably heard my voice in a long time. So today the first model that I'm reviewing is a NGModels Swoop, which is now WestJet 737-800. This is a older release, because I have not done any reviews in a long time. But I'll go ahead and open it up now here. So it comes in the standard NGModels box. So, here's the aircraft. Go ahead and zoom here a little bit. Those are more models to be reviewed back there. Okay. So here is the aircraft. This is a wide-angle lens on a regular camera now. So it's a little bit better quality, but I have to hold the model like way far away. But yes, so this is your standard Swoop paint here. Got the standard pink on the scimitars. Even though the camera won't focus. Back here we have the registration of Charlie Golf Delta Mike Papa. Here you can see the two Swoop logos and the Wi-Fi box. This is missing an antenna. I think it just came like that. But then on the bottom here, just like the standard NGModels 737s, no stand, hole. You got 3 antennas on the bottom, normally 2 on top. And this is pretty standard for the NGModels aircraft. Now, okay, here it is. We have the measurement here, which is 3 3/4 inches, or 9.5 centimeters long, with a wingspan of 3.5 inches and 9 centimeters. So that is it for this Swoop 737-800. Now we'll be moving on to another low-cost aircraft, the form of a JetBlue A321. This is a Defining Momint. This is, of course, in the new JetBlue mint colors. These boxes, I do have to say, are probably the best part of NGModels, as opposed to the standard run-of-the-line Gemini jets that is all uniform and boring. As a plane flies over in the background. So here we have the aircraft. And hang on. Try and darken it. There. That's closer to the actual color of the aircraft. It is a much darker blue than the camera is showing. But you can see here. We've got a nice lime green, well, mint green there. This new pattern, I have to say, is way better than the old JetBlue colors. Because it really just shows that JetBlue cares about their colors, as opposed to someone like Delta who just puts paint on the tail engines and calls it a day. But as you can see, we have a Wi-Fi box, 3 antennas on the top, 1 antenna on the bottom, and this does have paint damage on the bottom here. It came like that straight from the factory. NGModels is usually extremely good with defects, but you know, they don't do any of their own quality inspections, so it does not get noticed until either the customer or the store. Which, if you really don't want to have any defects like this on your models, DG Pilot is a really good a really good retailer. They're not a manufacturer. A really good retailer that inspects all of their aircraft, and so every time they get a shipment, they will go through an inspection. And if you want a link to their store, there will be a link in the description. They have a pretty wide selection of 1/400 scale aircraft. That's where I get a majority of mine from. They do also have 1/200 scale, which I have got a couple of them. But that is like my main retailer, because not only is it local, but it also is extremely good on quality inspections and makes sure that there isn't major defects that go through before they ship it out. Now moving on to the next model here. We have the Team USA A330 Neo. This, of course, is Delta. And this model is also an older model. But this is still a fairly new model, even though the aircraft that this is on has been flying for a couple of years now. So here is the aircraft. And I don't know why NGModels decided to do the standard all-plastic box for the A330 Neo, as opposed to, say, the 757 or A350 that are in the foam packaging. But here you can see the Team USA livery. This is November 411 Delta X-ray. I have seen this plane multiple times in person. This model is very spot on. As you can see, this is pretty standard for a Delta special livery. It is mostly just white, like their livery, with a giant Team USA sticker stuck to the side. Back here there's stars and stripes. And then this is the ship number of 3411. And this is, of course, an A330-900 Neo. It is, I believe, an A330-941 Neo. Which basically just means it was delivered to Delta and is in the standard Delta delivery configuration. And sorry for that buzzing you probably just heard. That was somebody calling me. There's three antennas on the top, plus a Wi-Fi box. And then on the bottom there's only one antenna. There. And this A330 does, of course, have the eye mask. Here you can see the very nice detail on the engines. They are not see-through on this model. But they are very nice detailed with individual fan blades in there. It is one singular piece though for the fan blades. And also on this aircraft it is an updated version where you can see the stickers right here. I do not have a pointer. Right there, right next to each door, well, each of the entrance doors, the L1 and L2 door, there's a sticker that just basically says the amenities, the Wi-Fi, and other in-flight service. Then there's also the SkyTeam livery, or SkyTeam sticker there. This aircraft also has paint from the very tip of the wing up a bit, and that makes up the entire actual winglet. Because if that wasn't painted, this would just look like a 787, because the actual winglet is not very curved. It's a blended wing, which makes it much more fuel efficient. So that will conclude this episode. But first, let me go ahead and get the measurements. The aircraft is 6 1/4 inches, or 6 1/8 inches long, which is about 5.5 centimeters, with a wingspan of the exact same of, actually no, this is 6 1/4 inches for the wingspan, and 16 centimeters, not so it is 15.5 centimeters in length. So that will conclude it for this video, and I will hope to see you in the next one. Bye!